What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Well, in today's video, as you can tell from the title, we will be introducing a brand new company to the channel, and that is going to be VirtualArmour International Inc, ticker symbol VTLR. Now, this is a company that you guys have mentioned to me in the comment section for the last day or two. I would say over the last day, especially as we have seen this big rise. You all have been spamming me with this one through my Instagram DMs, through Twitter, through YouTube, through everything. Tyler, check this one out. It's a sleeper. No one's talking about it yet. Get on it. Check it out. Boom, boom, boom. So I'm like, okay, I got to see what it's all about, and I must say that I am impressed. This is a very, very new company, and not new in a sense that, like, you know, the company itself, but it's new in the sense that it hasn't even really hit the broad market yet. If you do go look at the news around this stock, I mean, there's really not been much news whatsoever. If you go on YouTube, no other YouTubers have really been talking about it, so I am very interested to introduce this one to you guys, as I do believe that this could be one that not many people know about at the moment, but does have loads of potential. Now, if you guys do want to stay as up to date as possible whenever it does come to stocks like this one or other stocks that I do come across, I always update my Patreon members as soon as I find stocks like this one. So if you do want to stay as up to date as possible about my trades, my trade portfolio, and have early access to the content in which I'm going to be talking about on this channel, you can always go down to the link in the description. It'll bring you over to my Patreon, and that is where you can access all of that information. Now, if you do want to start your own investment journey, if you are looking to expand out to a new brokerage, you can always use the referral link that is in my description. It'll lead you over to Webull, and whenever you do sign up and deposit $100, you can win 2 free stocks valued up to $1,850. This is a fantastic brokerage. It's a brokerage that's just added crypto. They don't have OTC stocks yet, but it may be coming soon, and I really do believe that this is one of the best brokerages out there. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and let's take a look at what this company is, what do they do, and what are they all about when we're talking about VirtualArmour International Inc, ticker symbol VTLR. Now, this is going to be a cybersecurity company. Now, according to the website, they are a company that helps enterprises, businesses, and institutions take control of their network, keep their data secure, and empower their teams with cutting-edge technology. So they do offer a few different services that are broken down into 3 categories. They have managed services, professional services, hardware, and software services. So I'm not going to go through every single one, but we can take a look at some of the bigger ones here. So as we can tell from managed services, they do have things like managed SIEM. They have managed infrastructure and firewall, which is one that's pretty important. They have vulnerability scanning, basically scanning people's systems and scanning their overall programs to see if it's vulnerable to attack, or for, you know, these hackers or cyber thieves to go in and access information. They have professional services. These are going to be cloud services, which I think is going to be a very big one. They have remote access VPN, security compliance, data center optimization, and a whole bunch of other tailor-made solutions for your organizational needs. And then lastly, we have hardware and software services. It says that they partner with today's leading technology innovators, offering world-class hardware and cloud solutions. And then you can see that their technology providers if you do go ahead and click on this link here. So whenever it does come to this one, it says that they have state-of-the-art networking and cybersecurity solutions. Their team supplies and services the latest hardware and software solutions for companies like Juniper Networks, Mist, Fortinet, Cisco, it's a big one, and other industry leaders. So that is another very big aspect of their business, and that is just a key component of their overall business model. All of these things added together does make their overall company, and I think that they are so widely diversified and they are so good in each one of these different categories that they do offer many different services that can apply to many different companies, which I think will of course benefit them in the future as it does increase their potential consumer base. Now, we can see that they do provide these services to many different industries. So let's go ahead, let's take a jump into a few of them, especially some of the ones that we have seen really jump in popularity recently, and let's see what they are all about. So first off, we're going to check out healthcare, and we're going to see what exactly they do provide when it comes to healthcare. Well, with healthcare, they do focus a lot more on keeping patient data secure. They say that network infrastructure and endpoint devices must be more than compliant, and they must be secure. And you must think about this in a sense that you don't want people being able to access patient data. That is some of the most important and private documentation that people have, and you don't want people to be able to access that. So I must say that I can really see why this one would be so popular, as you know, hospitals and all of those, they need to make sure that they are keeping these patients' data and all of their personal information as secure as possible. Next up, we're going to take a look at energy, as we have seen energy become one of the biggest sectors in the in the whole world, especially as of this year. Next up, we can see that already an integral part of any business security plan, companies working with industrial control systems have an additional layer of technology that they must protect from cyber criminals. So we'll start right up here, and it says that the cyber revolution and improvements in industry efficiency are driving huge growth in the global energy industry. With this growth has come increased focus by bad actors and cyber criminals. Keeping your data secure and network under lockdown and endpoints protected is critical to your operational health. So it says that industrial control systems are used to manage critical infrastructure and they must remain secure at all times. As more systems become remotely accessible via standard internet protocols, industrial control systems have been increasingly more vulnerable to cyber attacks. We understand the industrial control systems landscape because we work in it every single day. Industrial control systems and operational technology organizations face an increasingly vast array of threats. The success of these critical systems depends on the operational priorities integrated into your ICS during the design stage. So these are things that are foundation issues. There are things that whenever it is being built, whenever it's being made, that they have to make sure are fully secure. And these are things that this company deals with every single day. I mean, as they do say here, right here, we work in it every day. So it is important for a lot of these companies going into the future to have this extra layer of protection, as they do have a lot more issues and there are a lot more things to worry about going into the future, as we can see here that as more systems are becoming remotely accessible via standard internet protocols. And the last industry that I did want to talk about, and this one was going to be service providers, and we have seen this sector start to really pop recently as well. So in this one, it says that we are the ideal cybersecurity partner for service-based businesses, from SaaS companies to data centers, with more than 20 years of experience working with and supporting service providers. So it says VirtualArmour can help reduce your time to market, ensure your network uptime, and minimize cyber threats. By deploying networking and security solutions that are intuitive and easy to use, we empower your growth with a network that's always up for the job. So they can get your product to the market faster. Working with an MSSP allows for a faster time to market for your products and services. We are able to quickly architect and engineer your managed cybersecurity solution, leveraging staff and resources not typically available to service companies. Now, they offer around-the-clock protection. Most service businesses don't have the ability or time to focus on their cybersecurity. With an MSSP like VirtualArmour, you can leave the cybersecurity to us and focus on your internal resources somewhere else. And I like that. I really do like that point. A lot of companies don't have the time nor capability to solely focus on security, solely focus on cybersecurity. And if they do, they're going to be putting a lot more capital up front in order to be able to pay for that and protect themselves. But working with a partner like this one allows them to take their foot off the gas whenever it comes to security, to focus on their products and their development rather than having to be, paranoid all the time, worrying about protecting all of their information. So that is just a very brief, summary of all of the services they do add. If you are curious about all of their services, you can come here and you can see all of the different ones, and they do break them down in depth, but I don't want this to be an 80-minute long video. So I do want to just give you guys summaries of the due diligence that I have done about this company in order to provide you all with a head start for your own research. Now, next up, we are going to take a look at their financials, as they are quite impressive. So we are expecting to get some, a report of their financials very, very soon here. But in the last one, we did get a report on December 1st of 2020 that reported all of their earnings in Q3 of 2020. Now, we did get some very fantastic highlights here that I think are going to be super, super important over the next couple years. Now, the reason I say this is because it really just shows that this company was able to hold through everything that we saw recently. As we will see here in a second, their financials did pretty dang on well even through the pandemic, and I would say that is that can be accredited to the fact that a lot of businesses did go online, and as we are seeing a lot of people start to transfer to the online and grow their online presence, there's an increase in data, and with an increase in data, there's going to be an increase in the need to protect said data, which is where this company comes in, and they clearly did take advantage of it phenomenally. So as we can see here, we're going to break down these highlights. It says that they have managed and professional service revenue for the quarter increased to 1.6 million, increasing 15.6% YOY or year over year, which is super amazing. Their gross profit margins for managed and professional services exceeded 52%, with overall gross profit margin including a lower margin resale revenue of 38.2%. The company realized $130,000 in operating income in the quarter ending September 30th of 2020, which is fantastic. Their adjusted EBITDA was $218,000 for the quarter ending in September 30th, and their annual recurring revenue, or their ARR, totaled $5.1 million at the end of this quarter, representing an increase of 8% from $4.7 million the previous year. That is fantastic. I love seeing growth in these companies. This is a company that really has not taken the market by storm. They have not really grown their name yet. They haven't gotten any notoriety, but statistics and things about them like this that shows that they are doing well is going to be fantastic for this company, especially once people really start to take notice about all of their potential and their capabilities. Now, there is one small thing that I did want to take notice of whenever it does come to this company that's not the best. One one thing I will actually, before I even get to the bad thing, one thing that I will notice is that the total operating expenses did drop from 1.07 million to 926,000. So that's going to be a drop of about 150,000 year over year, which is fantastic. But one thing that I do want to pay attention to is whenever it comes to their overall cash, the cash did drop substantially from this year to that year. And I will say that that can be accredited to probably an increase in operations. They've probably got a lot more stuff going on, but although their operation expenses have dropped, I think that that can be accredited to them investing a lot more cash and putting more capital into increasing their technology and their services. So that could be a thing, but I would definitely like to see them grow up their cash a little bit, as we do like to see companies sitting on a good bit of cash just in case. Now, the last thing I did want to talk on whenever it comes to this company is the fact that the industry and the sector in which they are in is growing at substantial rates very, very quickly. Now, there's 4 reasons that their industry are growing at these rates, and we will go over them very briefly. Now, one of the reasons why the cybersecurity industry itself is growing so fast is that hackers are getting smarter. They're finding new ways to access data every single day, and so it's super important for a company like this one to stay up to date, increase their technology, and make sure that they are staying ahead of the game, as they don't want to fall behind. Cybercrime is expensive. One reason the cybersecurity field is growing is that most businesses simply cannot afford a data breach. They would much rather pay a cybersecurity company to protect them to have to pay all of the different things that could happen if they do have a data breach. Let's think about this. If someone in the medical field did have a data breach and all this patient information was released, think about the amount of lawsuits that would happen. That would cost this hospital millions and millions of dollars. I guarantee they would much rather pay a cybersecurity company to protect this data than have to deal with something that severe. Next up, everything is automated. As companies' processes become automated, more of their infrastructure is rooted in technology. Every automated system is created by code that can be accessed when cybersecurity criminals break in. Thus, the more processes that are done digitally, the more opportunities hackers get to steal private information. And you got to think, these companies don't want people knowing their processes. They don't want them knowing how their company is running, because someone could easily copy it, steal it, or do something like that. And so they will again protect that to make sure that they're keeping their creativity and their uniqueness private, as they don't want that information to be accessible to other people. Now, the last one is that there are vulnerabilities everywhere. Hackers aren't just targeting computers, websites, and servers. Any technology based in code offers an opportunity in. From airplane systems and car alarms to power grids and security systems, more products and systems than ever before at risk for takeover by cyber crooks. Businesses need the best online security professionals to identify and mitigate security threats for every single technological innovation. Now, what we have to consider is the fact that literally everything is going online. Everything is turning technical, especially after this pandemic. And these companies need companies. They need companies and service providers like VirtualArmour who can protect them from all of these threats. As everything does happen and the technological evolution does occur, we are going to see a rapid growth in cybersecurity companies, as it is going to be one of the most needed services on Earth. Now, to wrap this thing up, I did want to take a quick look at the stock price to see what some of this stock price action is doing, and let's just take a look at what all is going on, because as we can see here, this thing has had some pretty nice rises over within the past, but again, it has seen a pretty rough couple years. But I would say that as everything is starting to go online, and I would say as we have started to see the pandemic occur and companies like this one start to take off this year, I think that they have a lot more potential now than they did in the past, and I think that that is going to provide them with loads of growth. Now, after it has seen a growth like this, within about 100% over the last day, I would say that this one may be one to watch. I'm not going to go too in depth about what trades I am going to be making, but what I will say is that I am likely going to be starting a position into this company. I do believe that they have loads of potential, and I definitely want to be a part of it as the future does go on and cybersecurity continues to be more and more important. Now, one reason that I do believe that this one is more of a speculative play in a sense but I do think it has a lot of potential is the fact that no one is talking about it yet. Now, who knows? There may be good reason no one's talking about it that I might have missed, but no one is really caught notice of this one. And I believe that when people really start to talk about it, as I am, and I'm sure as other YouTubers will pretty soon here, that it is going to really gain traction. And I wouldn't be surprised to see the stock price really start to climb with that load of traction, because we have to think it grew 108% and no one's talking about it. So what's going to happen whenever other YouTubers start talking about it, whenever articles start talking about it, whenever some of these bigger channels start talking about it? That could be significant. So I am going to mention mention, you know, that I am going to be buying this stock, as I said before, but I'm not going to talk too much about those trades, as that is always fully accessible by the Patreon. So again, if you do want access and you want to know exactly what I will be doing with this, you know, this trade, this company right here, definitely consider going down to the link in my description, again, as that is where I will be fully transparent about what I'm doing. With that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy today's analysis. If you did, you can let me know by smashing that like button and subscribing to the channel if you are new. I post on this channel 2 to 3 times every single day, and I can't wait to see you all next time. Peace.